Yeah, 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 yeah. We in the meth lab. We in the meth lab. The most underrated podcast show. You already know. We got a special guest today, right? We got herbalist slash martial arts instructor, Rock Salaam. Yo, Rock, how's everything?
Salute, peace and love. Everything's everything, beloved. Everything's
Peace,
peace.
peace, peace. Peace, King. You already know. So let's get
Peace,
into it.
everyone.
Let's get
Salute.
into it, King. Yo, King, I'm gonna ask you a question, right? Could you break down to me the pros and cons of the Dr. Sebi teachings?
Yeah. Great choice of words. Dr. Sebi, of course, was some people say he wasn't a doctor. All right, let's look at that first. People said Dr. Sebi wasn't a doctor. Some people say he was a doctor. Some people call him Dr. Sebi. Um, Anybody who actually teaches is a doctor. The Latin term, the Latin. Let's look at the Latin word, right? Let's go to the root word. Let's look at etymology. In etymology, it shows. Let me talk about the original word. It says in Latin, docere, Docere. That means to teach. Later on, it became teacher. When you're looking at Old French, it says learned person, right? Like educated person.
Okay.
When you look at, all right, so now let's look at the let's go to English and let's look what they have it right now as. So if you look at the word, you go look up doctor, Google, whatever, get a book, whatever. It's gonna say a person, right, who studies medicine.
Hmm.
Then you're gonna see physician, right? So now when we're looking at that word physician in Latin, you're gonna see physica, right? Physica, whatever. That that means like the study of natural things, you
Okay.
know. And then you look at the Greek word uh, physis, right, or physicos. And the Greek word physician, that's going back into natural. The word natural, right? Science and nature is what they was
Okay.
dealing with. And so, so if we look at the origin of what the word means, Dr. Sebi was doctor.
Hmm. Okay. I'm with you. I'm with
Um,
you. I'm with you.
a lot of people are doctors looking at the origin of the word. You know, no, now, the modern word is like, okay, you're looking at doctorate. This person has a piece of paper, but the piece of paper doesn't totally mandate everything because it comes from, like, who's to say who's the doctor and who's not really like that. The whole modern world, or the whole people are dealing with right now, is that they have to follow this construct that actually doesn't work for everybody. Because if it was like
Hmm.
that, you would never have no malpractice. Because now you say, does this person know how to help me or not? You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people right now, they going under the needle and they not better. From the needle to the blade, still got the same problem. You know. Um. Anyways, so pros, Dr. Sebi. I mean, I've heard. You know, I wasn't this, but I've heard. He worked with John Travolta, Michael Jackson,
Okay.
Left Eye. Prodigy. So he was up and rising. The only thing is that he couldn't say things. He couldn't say things. Or according to United States, or according to certain places in the world, because they don't recognize plants and herbs, which they should, because if you look at it, going back into that word doctor or physician, it's going
Okay.
into natural,
Natural.
natural, not natural medicine. This, the study of nature, science of nature,
Study of nature. Okay.
going according to the original word. And So all right, so Dr. Sebi, he studied, you know, Africa. I know he definitely studied like Mexico. Mexico was like his foundation, you know, as far as like, you know, he went to Mexico for libido. And when he
Okay.
went to Mexico for libido, it was a shaman, you know, or a holistic practitioner or herbalist, whatever you want to call them. And he went there, you know, for erectile dysfunction.
Mm.
And the brother had told him that this is his story, not mine, not my words neither. That he was very sick. He was very sick, like
Okay.
dying. He was
Okay.
like, you know, if he's like, you know what, you know, you this is what you need to do to in order, you know, to fix your libido for one, but and also to heal your body. And then, you know, from there, you know, he was like, he started studying, you know, what he started studying natural herbs, natural remedies, more or less. From
Okay.
there, he, you know, and then it was said to him or stated, I don't know, this is not my words, but this is as far as what I've heard from him or others, whatever case may be, that he was a study. He it would be better for him to study his heritage of and their ways of healing. You know, because the
Mm.
brother was from, you know, his brother was from Honduras, but you know, he's African descent.
Mm.
You know, his real name's not Sebi, it's Bowman, last name, whatever. But um, anyways, he's from Honduras, and then you know, he actually, you know, he traveled, you know, traveled abroad, you know, learned different science of herbs and different studies of herbs. And for me, it's like he took what he learned and gave back to the people whoever he could.
Okay.
Um, do I agree with everything that Sebi has stated or his practices? No, I don't. So here's what. So I'm giving you the pros. The pros, okay. The brothers. I mean, he's got testimonies from other people, so apparently he did something, you know, for the
Right.
people, you know. But do I agree with everything he says? No, because he wasn't really too like. All right, for him, it's like all right. For me, I heard, you know, people say, Rock Sabi don't do it garlic, and I'm like, well, me being a practitioner, you know, when I'm dealing with myself or certain other people who I've dealt with, many others, you know, and I got testimonies,
Mm. Okay.
a great catalog to where people who could actually do the same thing, like the same. I could do the exact same thing that Sabi did, but you know, as far as having a high profile, I don't have high profile clients as far as the industry is concerned. But
Right.
I've been doing this since I was a child. I come from two. My father was herbalist, you know, studied herbs many years. So did my mother. I come from two herbalists. That's
Okay.
my background. I
Okay.
come from two herbalists, and
And
I mean,
salute
like,
to
I'm
them.
still, yeah,
Salute to
man.
them.
I mean,
Salute to
like,
them.
I was doing certain things with my friends. Like, this dude's sick. I'm over here like mixing up teas and herbs. I'm like, and I was like 11, 12 years old. You sick? I got you.
uh.
Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If you
Okay.
had someone just know lemon and ginger, like I knew my stuff back then. 12, 13,
Okay.
14, 15. I was 15.
So,
I'm like, I'm well developed. You know,
so it's safe to say that there's basically a cure for everything.
there is, you know, it's just that like you don't have to have the same protocol. Where people are going wrong and conflict comes, it's like, all right, say for instance, Sabi says garlic is acidic. Now garlic does have an acidic property. Yes, it does. But
Okay.
it's how you take it. You know, you're not gonna sit there and take garlic every day because it's not natural in your body. It's just like
Okay.
people are taking vitamin C, but you don't naturally produce it. It's not naturally in your body, you know. So
Okay.
you take things according to the necessity of the situation.
Mm.
So, because garlic is good for the skin, it's good for the hair, nails, blood pressure. You know,
Okay.
you can regulate just garlic, so it's not totally bad for the body. You know, we're looking at it like,
Okay.
well, some people hear certain things and they look at it like, you know what, I'm just not going to do this at all. But that's not the case. It's like how do you walk outside and breathe the air and these cars are just zooming up and down the street? Well, you gonna stay inside the house now?
Exactly.
Makes no sense. You know,
Exactly.
so it's like no, kale is not totally like pe- people are trending with. All right, number one, people they they're trending. This is not your job. You want it to be your job, but you're not. But you don't study. You don't sit there every day and study over and over and over again. You know, this is not like, for people it's like it's a hobby and then things are trending. So they're like, take celery and mix it with this, and it's not how it works. Number one, you just don't know what the herb does. You have to know what the body does and how the body reacts and responds. You have to know the liver, the kidney, the spleen, the colon, and for me, it's like study the body. Don't just study the herb. Don't ear hustle. Listen to somebody else. Don't get on YouTube, what I'm saying, and say, you know what, this is how it works, or my friend told me this. This is how it works. You don't know how it works unless you actually put, they say 5 years is experience.
Right.
So it's like if you're doing this consistently every day, get you some time in the game, and then you have a better comprehension of what you're dealing with.
Right. So what you're saying is like all of our bodies could react different to these different herbs.
The bodies do react different. Not everybody's the same. All right. Say for instance, when we're looking at alkalinity, right? People talk about, oh, alkaline. Not everybody has the same amount of oxygen in their body at the same time. Not the same amount of water at the same time. Not the same amount of calcium, magnesium. How do you? Not everybody's K2 levels are the same.
Right.
All right. K2 regulates vitamin K2 regulates vitamin D. D regulates magnesium. Magnesium regulates calcium. It's order of operations. It's a science to the system of minerals. Oh, people say vitamins, whatever.
Okay.
Do you know what's in your body? Well, like how many enzymes? Enzymes are very important, but people are not saying you have this much enzymes, or you have this much protein. You can have too much calcium in your body.
Okay.
So you really have to, if you can go get there's certain tests that actually works, but for me it's like more or less know your body. Your body talks to you.
Right.
It tells you.
Okay.
If you pay attention.
But I mean, like so what you're saying is different protocols. Like I know we can't probably say too much here on this platform on YouTube, but like, okay, let's say somebody that has like something like that, like one of those STDs, like maybe that herpes virus, maybe that virus. Like, what would be the first thing you would tell somebody, right, that has that virus? What would be the first thing you would tell them to do to start making steps into, like, clearing that out of their system?
Clean the blood. You got purifiers. Certain herbs purify. Certain herbs take out or extract.
Okay.
You have to go to where it's at. It's going to the origin of the problem, and you start there. Okay. It's just like if you're looking at brain cancer doesn't start in the brain. It doesn't necessarily mean it started in the brain. Go start in another organ.
That's true. That's a fact.
Right?
Okay.
So for me, it's like if you get to the root of the problem, then you can fix it.
Okay.
Go to the root. Start there. Start working there, and and then go to where it's at. You can work both.
That's heavy. Like the same for people that got, like, a lot of people, like, let's say like a gallbladder problems and this and that. That's the same. They would have to like purify their blood also.
Yeah, not just the blood, but you have to go to the organ.
The organ, the actual organ.
The organ. You got to deal with that organ. You have to administer things that's going to, deal with that organ, kidney stones, whatever case may be. You know, you have to figure out what's going to work in that specific area. You know,
That specific area. So now, right? Today I was trying to stay away from mentioning this. I was trying to stay away, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and just mention it. It's whatever they want to do. The algorithm want to take us out, it's whatever. But I feel like I have to do this for the people. Now, as far as this new virus that we have, the COVID-19 virus that we have, they say it goes away on its own. But for a person that might have just got tested for it an hour ago and found out, right, that they're actually positive for the COVID-19, what would be some steps that they can move towards right away to start getting rid of that virus?
How do you clean a house? Like your house is dirty.
Okay.
So if your house is dirty, what do? You have to clean it.
You have to clean
this
it.
Is the house. For me, everything is, some people say detox. I say purify.
Purify. Okay.
So if your house is dirty, you got to clean it.
Okay. Okay. So what would you say is the difference between detoxing and purifying? What would you say is the difference between those two?
All right. Well, all right. So say for instance, you have things that actually, you have things that take things and pull them to an area. And you also have things that extract from the area. So one pulls and draws everything together, and you have something that binds and takes it out. Right?
Okay.
For me, it's like, okay. All right, when Dr. Sebi was talking about alkaline body, he was talking about a clean body. So he was like, keep your liver clean, keep your colon clean, keep your organs pretty much, because these are filters.
Right. These are filtered.
Keep your filters clean. You got filters in the car. What do? When it gets dirty, you clean it. You replace the filter. Your oil is dirty. You clean it. The oil, all right, looking at the car, they say the oil is the bloodline of the car. What do you do when it's dirty? You clean it. Now it helps the car live longer.
Right.
People should be looking at things that's purifying. But see, all right, a disease, they say the disease based off of nutrient deficiency, oxygen deficiency. Sabi was talking about inflammation. A lot of people are talking about inflammation right now, right? Because most ailments are caused by, inflammation, which is going to, if you got inflammation, the body's going to lead to oxygen deficiency, nutrient deficiency. If you don't clean the blood, you don't take the oil out the car, the body don't live as long, or doesn't function as well.
Right. Well, okay. Now, over these past couple of years, there's a few herbs that became very popular, throughout the past couple of years, like oregano oil, black seed oil. A lot of people talk about elderberry now. What do you think about these oils, about these herbs?
They've been around for centuries. Nothing new.
Nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun. Okay. All right. There's books that have, listen, before Sebi was around, or a lot of these other, before, I don't even like the guy, he's all right though, Oz, whatever was around. These people was doing, listen, they've been here for centuries. Dandelion, milk thistle, this is nothing new. They're in books that's older than these people we're talking about. Older, people say, oh, mix this with this. And all right, for me, it's like, the new things that give us nutrients, use those things together. Also, people have the wrong concept of how they're using their herbs. They don't realize that, you're saying they're taking echinacea like every day. No, you're not supposed to do it. It's not natural in your body. All right, bladderwrack goes with. All right, things that purify, use them together. Things that give you the things that take out the body, right, or trying to eliminate, use those things together.
Right.
That's for me. That's logic. That's I mean, it makes sense for me. Things that give you nutrients, use those things together. So
Okay.
so when I'm looking at sea moss, I'm not going to use sea moss with I'm not going to use sea moss with dandelion.
Okay.
I'm
And
going to
and
use
and
sea
and
moss.
and tell us why not?
Mhm.
Why wouldn't you use sea moss with
Because
dandelion?
you got like sometimes things cancel each other out,
Okay. Understood. Understood. Okay.
right? So you got so say for instance you got all right. Say for instance you have one thing that's you so you got one thing. Okay, you're trying to have all right. You're looking to get more protein in your body,
Okay.
and then you take something that's going to take the protein out of the body. How does that work?
Mm. Hmm.
So it's like I'm not gonna sit there and take I'm not gonna sit there and drink like say for instance I'll do it like if I do a green shake, right, or a green blend, right, or any
Right.
or a superfood. So if I'm putting superfoods, if I'm doing spirulina, chlorella, barley grass, maca, cacao, whatever case may be, mangosteen, noni, goji, whatever case may be, if I'm using those things all together, I'm not gonna go and get Psyllium husk, all right, or
Right.
Swiss Chris. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna put garlic in it, and garlic's gonna stay away from it. I mean, I'm not gonna use garlic. I'm not gonna use anything that's gonna try to cancel that out. You know, um, so yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's like me personally, I say use things that are nutrient efficient,
Okay.
so you can get the minerals, so you can get the
Minerals.
nutrients,
Which brings
and
me to this. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, well, what I'm saying is that if to me, it's like don't take certain things with certain things. Like don't even put them together within a certain time frame. So if it's like would you drink like all right for me it's like okay, would I want to do dandelion milk this so things is gonna extract without yellow dock burdock root, right? Um, yellow dock burdock whatever case may be. Would I want to take that with spirulina? No, I don't.
Mm.
No, I don't. Even though they're both natural, one might cancel the other out.
Right. 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 It's better to just stick to one.
It's better to stick to a system saying that this is for right. I'm putting minerals in my body. It's like I'm putting minerals in my body for a reason. So I get nutrient absorption, right?
Okay.
I need magnesium, like I need calcium, I need you need vitamin, whatever, A, K, whatever, you need zinc, right? So if I'm trying to look for this to come into my body, I don't want to take that with something that might pull it out of my body.
Mm. Okay.
And this is something that I see that people are not comprehending because health is trending.
Mm.
People don't
Okay.
study.
For our listeners, right? For our listeners, for anybody that might be watching this or might watch this, right? What is three things, right? Just give me three things that every human being should be consuming every day. Three different things that we should, by right should be consuming every day. Just three
That
things.
depends. That depends on your body, but water, number one, of course. You
Water.
need water.
Okay.
How much? Like we're more water than anything else.
That's a fact. That's a
You
fact.
know, we're more water than anything else. So we got more water than mass. I mean, for some, I mean, like they say we're 3/4, 75%. Like the Earth, whatever the case may be. So of course, water. Um,
Water.
I think people should be on for people who exercise a certain amount of protein with greens, you know, every day. Certain amount of protein. Um, vegetable.
Mm.
Even though I tell people, I mean, if I don't eat meat, I don't say you don't eat meat. You need to know your body. Certain people, they have to have a certain amount of meat because of the
Right.
genetics, because of the genome.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
so just
That's
like
heavy
for
right
me,
there.
balanced diet for you got, and also it's very hard to say because once again that goes back into everybody's body's not the same. So you might
Mm.
need a certain amount of carbs in your diet, a certain amount of fiber. To me, it's like I for most Americans, I think, and it's not 100%. I'm not saying it's 100% right. For me, for like most people, most Americans, because of the way that they've been eating, their parents have been eating for,
Right.
generationally, it's protein, fiber,
Right.
carb.
Mm.
You can pull the protein out, and you can pull the carbs out once in a while, and keep the fiber. To me, I like to
Okay.
alternate, diets. I think people should actually sometimes say, you know what, today I'm not doing meat.
Right. Right. Right.
Even if you do meat, I think people should just take meat out once in a while, and just
Mm.
go carb, fiber, or more like vegetable, grain, whatever case may be. I'm not super huge on starch, but you
Stop.
got rice, that's good. You got red rice, you got black rice, you got brown rice, that's good. You know, you know,
Mm-hmm.
do you need it? Not really. Depending on
Not
your
really.
lifestyle. Lifestyle equals diet. You know,
Okay.
how do you
So
like?
it's safe to say there's not no one health regimen everybody should stick to. It's all
No,
dependent
find out
on
what.
your
No, you
body.
need to learn your body. Learn your
You got to
body.
know
It's like,
you. Yeah.
yeah, what I can eat. All
Know
right, what you can
thyself.
eat. I was gonna say, faces. What you can eat, it might not be good for you. You might
Yeah.
be able to process chicken, beef, and turkey, and then you don't have this. Your body might have a different tolerance to mice. And you might be able to eat
Right.
cheese, and your body it's going to break it down differently from the way that my body might break down. You might eat cheese and be chilling. I might eat cheese. Next, I'm stuffy. I got
Right. Yep.
mucus is in my throat, my lungs. I'm saying it's spitting mucus out.
Going
Right,
crazy.
the
Yeah.
information is coming right out because my body's going to
Right.
reject it. So if you eat
Uh huh.
cheese, you chilling, you have fun. I ate every time.
Right.
Listen, I go back to once in a while. I try to play with the pizza. Every
Mm-hmm.
every time I try to play with the pizza, right, I had the same effect.
Right.
It comes right out. My body just
Right.
it rejects it.
Uh
So
huh.
my body doesn't work well with it. It doesn't process it, you
Right.
know. And I've been like that since I was a child, since I was a kid. My body was always like everybody else be saying it. They all right. They don't have all of this information in their body. My body was like, no. I would immediately start.
Right.
I would immediately sneeze, or start blowing my nose. It builds
Okay.
up, and my body says, "Bye, get out."
Understood.
So for
Understood.
me,
Let's shift
mhm,
the grid. Let's shift the grid a little bit. I want to know about the
mhm.
martial arts. How did you get into martial arts?
Uh, I was 3 years old. Aaron Power Wilson
Mm.
started at 3, and
Okay.
and then so Aaron Power Wilson. My mom brought me, you know, YMCA. He said, "Yo, can you take this little guy?" And he was like, "Yeah." Even though I was 3, um, as far as what they say, my motor skills was good at that time, and
Okay.
that was it. Later on, I started studying Wing Chun. I think I was doing well. I actually did jujitsu before Wing Chun, but I was in jujitsu. So after Taekwondo, went to jujitsu, did about a year of that, and then shot out to well, moved on to Wing Chun at 14. Craig Tate,
Okay.
Baba Landis, yeah, Wing Chun since I was 14, and then
Okay.
started
Okay.
just to go through different arts. It was like, what's next? You know,
Would
then so
Would you
I started,
recommend?
huh?
Would you recommend our people, like our people, to all of our people to know martial arts, to learn it, at least
I
some
think it's good.
form of
I
martial
think
arts?
I believe so. It's like, um, you can't shoot everybody, right?
That's a fact.
And
Yeah.
you might not be able to get to your weapon, you might not have your weapon on you. So for me, it's like, All right, my teacher said to me, he says, Dad, I found a gun in you know, I was looking around. He said, yeah, Dad, you got a gun. I found a gun. Right? One of my teachers says, you know, and he says his father said, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So when I look at it
That's a fact.
like at that scenario, or excuse me, not scenario, when I look at that, you know, that statement, it's
I
like,
agree 100%. I agree.
can you protect yourself when you need to protect yourself? Do you have it? If you need
Hmm.
to protect a family member or a friend, do you have it
Right.
when you need it?
Right. 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 Right.
You know, because life is about survival. You know,
It's all about
every,
survival.
this one goal that every living thing, and I'm talking about living, every living thing on this planet is doing one thing, same thing,
Hmm. Mm.
trying to survive. The
Trying to
common goal
survive.
of all living things is survival.
Survival. That's a fact.
You know, why does a blade of grass grow through the concrete? Survival.
Survival.
You know,
Mm.
so everything that one thing that all living things have in common is to survive.
Survive.
How
That's a
you think is
fact.
how you survive. You know,
That's a fact.
how you think is how you survive. How you act is how you survive.
Mm. That's a fact. That's a
So
fact.
so that's why we, you know, we're not practicing martial arts, so, you know, or me from more or less is combat. You know, to say, you know what, I know this, or I can do this, or hey, look at me. We're like, no, we're doing this, you know, because we're trying to work on our survival rate,
Right.
you know,
Mm.
and just keeping that blade
And
sharp,
also,
keeping
and
the iron
also,
sharp.
obtaining discipline. Also, discipline through it all too. You know.
That's one part. All right, that's one part of martial arts. The things that, all right, I teach martial arts. I teach martial arts different from the way that I was taught. Um, I don't. I do discipline personally. I don't put it into my martial arts. The thing is, I teach people how to protect themselves. I teach people how to live, or I'm trying to assist in helping people to
Right.
survive, to live.
Mm.
The discipline thing is more like Western for ideology. You know, the discipline thing is more like the Westerners kind of like, and even or like or the people from, you know, Japan or Korea or wherever, they had, you know, this way of living that because they practice martial arts, people thought or think that it's together, and it's not.
Mm.
You can't hurt somebody and pray for him at the same time, and at the exact same time you're hurting him. It's like, how you gonna
Right.
sit there? I hope you are okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no,
Right.
I pray for you, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Let me have the discipline.
Right.
How
Right.
does that work? Together.
Right.
You know, so
Fact.
no,
Fact.
it's one or the other. You know, there's a time for peace and there's a time for war. You have to know what time, you know, and you use. See me, I practice peace, but I practice war. I'm
Right.
not practicing peace and war at the same time. So I'm not gonna. All right, so I pick my days that I meditate, in my time
Uh-huh.
frame that I meditate, or whatever case may be, and then I pick my times to where I'm practicing, you know, my self defense, whether it's knife, gun, hand, legs, whatever case may be. I don't put them together because they're not together. There's no loyalty, there's no honor in the fight.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
once you hit somebody, you disrespected them.
Right.
There's no loyalty or honor in that.
Mm.
You know, there's no peace in that. They're not together. You know, once again, people putting things together that don't go together.
Mm. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yep. That's it. Hey, yo, this is God's work right here. We in the meth lab. We got Rock Salaam. Hey, yo, Rock. Yo, salute for coming through. You already know. This is God's work. You already know. Yo, Rock, I'm going to hit you up in a minute. Yo,
One more
shout out to
thing.
everybody.
One more
Go
thing.
ahead.
One thing. I just want to. Earlier, you said peace king, and I appreciate you, but I'm not king. I'm emperor.
Mm.
And
You
the
already
reason
know. We
being,
got you already
the
know.
reason being,
We're gonna shift it to emperor. We're gonna shift it to emperor. Now, Rock,
We
break
have
down
to.
why.
All right. The reason being is that coming from where we come from, we're not people. It's like it's all right. Cool. It's like, are you if you move to Canada, are you a king in Canada? No, because a king rules one landmass. That means you got to stay in New York,
Mm,
right? You can't go to Jersey and be you
that's a fact.
king.
Mm,
Because king rules one landmass, emperor rules many.
many.
So if I pick up and go to South, I'm me everywhere I go. When I go to South Carolina, I'm me. It don't change.
Okay,
When I go to North Carolina, Florida, wherever the case may be, Georgia, whatever, if you go there, you're gonna be you.
that's a fact.
Power is power, but power is everywhere we go. Emperor,
Mm,
bringing back that power. You know, queen is a terrible word to call a woman. Queen going back into its origin and its overly
etymology
hussy.
wise,
Etymology wise, queen means overly forward hussy prostitute. So when you say
yep,
peace queen, you disrespecting the woman. You are
yep.
not saluting her. You are disrespecting her.
Mm.
So we say emperor or empress.
Etymology 101 for y'all that don't
Yeah,
understand what he's saying.
especially
This
when you
is you
speak
have
to
to
our
study
people.
etymology to understand this. Hmm.
Yeah, people need to start looking at start looking at these root words. Also, start looking at don't look at New English.
Don't look at
Look
New
at
English either.
Old English.
Denotative and
It
connotative linguistics.
get a little different when you start looking at words in its origin.
Yep.
I'm gonna leave off. I'm gonna leave off at this. The, the New English is not good for us.
Mm,
They started playing with these words because that's how they was trapping us mentally, and physically.
okay.
Words have meaning. When we speak, it has a frequency. It's
It
got
has a frequency.
vibration, right?
Hmm.
Some of these words we speak was going against us without us even knowing.
Without us even knowing, because we don't have the knowledge to know really what we're saying. We only
Right.
going off of what we've been taught.
Put it in a book. Who reads?
Yep. That's a
Who
fact.
studies? You
That's a
know,
fact.
they know this language. We don't really know this language.
Yep.
They know, and they know that with the language come the other language. That's what they dealing with. That's what certain people dealing with. And that's why we always hear struggles
That's
to
a
get
fact.
there. We don't know.
That's a fact.
They
Hey
say
yo,
knowledge is power.
hey yo, this is God's work right here. I hope everybody, is taking the time out to listen to all of this. If you didn't understand something, please, watch it again. Watch it again. Get a full understanding. You could go to Google. You could go to the dictionaries to see if you don't understand anything that was said here tonight. You already know. We in the Meth Lab. This is God's work. We got Rock Salaam. Yo, Rock, you already know. Good looking for coming through. This the Meth Lab.
Salute and peace and love.